Okay, good day and good greetings from Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates. Today, we are going to be conducting an interview with Lalitha Krishnamoorthy. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And we will be going through a series of questions to get some insights and some valuable tips from her on her experience working at IBM and what she believes the future is going to bring also in the space of data and the information economy. So without further ado, I would like to just do a quick round. Lalitha, would you like to just go in and introduce yourself?
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to share, with the team here today. So I'm with IBM. I just celebrated my 20 years at IBM, and my 20th year anniversary. And I'm the director for digital commerce and digital data platforms at IBM, and that's my current role.
Great. Thank you so much for doing that introduction. And we'll just do a very short introduction on the two of us as moderators. So you're getting two of us from Abu Dhabi. Rashid, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Rashid Al-Swedi. I'm the CEO and founder of Turnkey Technologies, a hub here in Abu Dhabi that's extended globally and that addresses the data-first concept. And it's a chief data officer-led data management consultancy, one of a kind around the world.
Thank you very much, Rashid. And I'm Rashid's partner in crime, co-founder of Turnkey Technologies. I'm the managing partner, and I'm also a serial chief data officer, worked for many years for financial institutions, the European Commission, and some big brands. And I'm really keen to speak to you, Lalitha, and get into all the questions that we have for you. So let's get started. So could you kind of kick us off and give us a brief about your career and give us a sense of the scope of your organization and your role at IBM? What does it really entail?
Just to give you, my career journey, right, when I think about it, is not very unique. I'll be the first to admit. I have an undergraduate degree in electronics engineering. I came to the US for my graduate school and got my master's in computer science. I have a double major. I majored in neural networks and fuzzy logic and relational database design. And believe it or not, when I graduated, nobody was hiring for AI. Okay. So I actually took up the job of a database developer because AI was not hot as it is today. So I started as a database developer and working on DB2, which is the IBM's flagship database product. Then went on to work on super cool. Almaden Research had a project around federated technology. So I worked on a research project there for a couple of years. Then I moved on to IMS Replication, which is another product suite that touches our ZLAND, our ZOS product suites. And then from there on, I went to Information Server, which is called Data Stage, to our clients and in the market.
Yes.
Very powerful ETL engine. So as you can see, I was able to go to various products and build out that product knowledge across the board, from databases to integration technology to middleware to back-end strong systems like ZOS and mainframe that bring revenue to the table. So it gave me the opportunity to kind of go and learn about all these products and build deep product knowledge. And then I had the opportunity to lead up client advocacy for our entire analytics platform. This was my cool opportunity to have direct-facing clients. Had the opportunity to work with our signature accounts, as we call them. These are our very heavy clients that bring in most of our revenue, and provide NPS and satisfaction, take care of the critical situations when they have systems and platforms down. And that opportunity really helped me build the client side of the muscle. and how do you work with clients directly, and not in the capacity of sales, but from the perspective of, as you probably know, when you have product knowledge, that's when clients come to you because they want to know what's right for their environment. What is the right investment to make? So running client advocacy was a real good eye opener for me. It helped me build that muscle. And then I was at that point in my career where I was like, well, I'm about mid-level. What am I going to do next? Like, what do I want to be when I grow up? I started thinking, where am I going? And then I started thinking, okay, maybe it's time, and I'm sharing this because I know there's a lot of, people there who are also thinking after you reach a certain point in your career, you're thinking, is this time, I'm a technologist. Maybe it's time for me to go to business school and go get an MBA. So I was thinking maybe that's what I want to do, go and get a business degree and then do that. But one of my mentors said, the best way to learn how to swim is you get in the water. And so I actually did a 2-year assignment in business development, mergers and acquisition, just within IBM. So I took a hardcore biz dev role and did M&A for 2 years, believe it or not. It was
cool.
It was a career risk because, a hardcore technology person typically stays away from that land just because it's not safe or you don't know the thing. And so but I think it was the best experience that I could have ever had. Because now I can speak to both sides of the coin. I'm not just a technologist who can only speak to the tech stack. I can speak from an ecosystem perspective, from a strategy perspective and alignment as well. So I built that muscle, in that role that I had. And then when I finished that role, I came back to, IBM this was about 5 years ago when IBM was just starting on our digital transformation journey. And I was asked to come in as an executive and lead up the digital transformation and be part of that effort. And that's basically what brought me into digital. And for the last few years, my current role is to do two things. Like I tell my team, we do two things and we do them really well. One is we build out the best digital data platform that can possibly be built. This allows us to, maintain data quality, maintain governance and standards, and democratize that data so that there can be AI models that can go and leverage this data to provide real-time insights on our client, business partners, and ISVs, to our marketing teams, sales teams, etc. And the other side is lead up our digital commerce or marketplace platform that handles almost every transaction that goes through IBM from a marketplace perspective. So we have and the commerce platforms that we do. And then in the center, I also own the DevOps mission for digital. Which is again another hot space where instead of every team kind of going and building their own infrastructure and services and everything, we try to standardize the wrapper around the platforms. So we also do one language if we can, as much as we can. So that's what I lead up now at IBM. So, and I'm super excited.
That's highly, highly exciting. I mean, what you explained, where you started, what was not cool at the time, that is really hot now, and how you went from the technologist side and took a leap of faith to go over to the business side, but not just the business side. We're talking the complex business side of M&A. Even business people don't want to go into M&A because they're like, so there's a lot of business moving parts. And when the technologist comes over, I can imagine you must have just been, wow, like a deer in headlights. So I can imagine your learning curve must have been really steep. So what kept you in there? The drive, or what kept you there for the time?
I think it's two things. I think one is, I've always had this attitude of risk it all. I mean, I've never been risk averse in my life in general. It's good and bad, right? Because, you win some, you lose some. But I think the biggest lesson I learned is that, I learned I truly wanted to test myself to see if I had an AI model in my head, which was capable of training itself and learning, this machine could learn a brand new vertical, a brand new domain, And so it was personally, a way for me to test myself to see, do I still have it in me to go and learn a completely new domain and take that risk? So that's part one. And two, I know that as you go into executive roles, any company, you need to truly understand the business side of the equation, right? It's a very important skill set that you do need to build. Whether you build it early on in your career or later in your career, it doesn't matter. But for you to have that conversation with the C-suite clients, and when I now get in front of them, they absolutely understand, because I can negotiate both sides of the house. I'm not looking to, hey, I got to take my gang with me or a bunch of team members with me to that room to have that conversation, right? I can switch it depending upon which way I need to go.
Yeah, so I've heard you talk about the business development area that you wanted to go in, and let's say the challenges you faced while facing the C-suites. I'm a fond of data monetization, where I think it's the most important aspect regards in a company, where you could decide on what decision making you're going to have. So I've been hearing some of your videos about digital tsunami, that you called it. And to this point, I want to ask you this question. To what extent were your existing strategy plans and roadmaps in the data space, they were able to cope up with the turmoil of 2020? Because it's related.
Yeah, a great question, Rashid. And I think, the truth is, a lot of people, right, when I talk about digital transformation, they kind of think of digital transformation like it's a restaurant. It's not a restaurant. It's more like a gym, in my opinion. You can just go and look at a menu and order a bunch of platforms and teams and standards and say, this is what I want, like a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's actually like a gym where you have specialized programs, you have specific trainers, you need to build the team around it. And then the most important thing is you need to do the work to gain the benefit of the investment you've made in the gym.
Yeah.
So the mindset needs to change, that this is not a restaurant. This journey is not like going and dining out. This is really about, investing yourself into a gym. And the result of the KPI that you get, the business outcome you derive from working out in the gym, based on those programs and specialized platforms, is actually the gain that you get, that you see in yourself, the improvement that you see, the outcome you drive. This was in a very great book. I can't remember the name of the book, but it's always stuck to me, this example. And I use this a lot with every team, because so the point is that, if you think about it from that perspective, when IBM started our digital transformation journey 5 years ago, we actually started even before the turmoil started. So being ahead of the game, thinking ahead of where your competition is thinking, being ahead of some of those things then, and keeping that innovation, that flame of innovation going, is super critical for you to be relevant and keep growing in this market. So we had to do a very, very thorough 360 view of what does this digital platform look like, and create multiple blueprints and have a very iterative approach to what are the outcomes we're going to drive, which can be more intentional rather than trying to boil the ocean. Because again, we have to keep the company going on that journey and reap benefits from the investment we're making. Not say in 5 years we'll have a platform that is solid, bulletproof, and it's going to work, right? I mean, nobody is going to wait 5 years to gain. So I would say that the way we constructed our data platform and the digital commerce platform, keeping in mind the digital needs of our clients and focusing more on not trying to think of, okay, this is a product, we're going to add more functionality to it. The thought process is, let's pivot to what does a customer experience look like? And let's try to onboard those products that meet those customer experiences and make this more, it's like buying one song on iTunes that I like versus being forced to buy the entire CD that we used to do a bunch of years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
And just skipping through the songs to hear the song.
Yeah.
that you like.
Exactly, until you get the song you like, right? So, and instead, I would go to iTunes and just spend 99 cents and buy the song I want. It's just
Spotify.
So our clients are doing the same thing, right? Our clients are saying the same thing. Look, I'm not going to buy everything you have. Just give me digitally, what can you offer me so that I can just take what I need and get moving with my business, because I don't have surplus revenue to spend on to pay you.